Hello, my name's Clive Good. I'm a local from Malton Hampstead. I've been working with NEDCare for 6 months now. It's totally new to me. I came from an engineering background, 15 years in the telecommunication industry, working a lot around the world, and then 15 years in a sedentary lab-based environment, which I got a little bit tired of. No, I wasn't worried about going into this industry as being a man. I'd seen on television, on local news, I have friends who are male nurses. I've seen on the internet, I did a lot of searching, and there are a lot of male in this role, maybe not in this area, but in other areas of the country, so I was not worried at all. People don't generally behave differently because I'm a man. I have many ladies that I visit and they prefer sometimes, maybe for a change, a bit of male company. Sometimes they think it's the highlight of their week. I have one female client who sometimes referred to me as a therapist. She enjoys it when I go round because she says that I bring the outside world and Dartmoor into her home. She can't get out very much, and this has helped her get more confidence. Once she fell over, and I went round afterwards because she was shaky and unwell, and after I'd visited, she said she was over the moon that I'd come round and helped her, and she felt much more relaxed and able to carry on with her daily life after I'd been. I was a little daunted at first, but NEDCare has been fully supportive with me being a new carer. They have led me through a lot of training and help and full shadow visits, and any little thing that I'm not sure about, they will make sure that I'm fully prepared for the next time I visit, or for somebody else to come out and help me again. NEDCare makes a big difference in the community. It's a non-for-profit organisation. It's run by local people. It encourages local carers to be employed. It pays them a good wage, and it looks after them. One of the most enjoyable parts of the day is taking somebody out who would not otherwise be able to go out into the community, to a memory cafe, into town, even to a local shop. And in between, we can sit down for coffee and share lots of fascinating memories with them. One of the nicest things is that when I leave sometimes, that people will have a big smile on their face, and they're a lot happier than when I'd arrived. If you're thinking about a career in caring, go ahead and give NEDCare a ring. They'll be very supportive and interested to hear what you have to say.
My name's Kate. I'm one of the senior carers at NEDCare. I've worked for NEDCare for about 15 months. I've worked in care for about 20 years doing various things, and I have to say that working for NEDCare is probably my most favourite job.
Great, why is that?
Why is that? Because I'm working in a lovely community. It's very rural, it's a beautiful place to work. I meet some really wonderful people, and I've got a really supportive management team behind me, and we really try to make a difference to potentially vulnerable people living in the community. They support us by giving quite often emotional support, practical support to some of the members of staff who aren't quite as experienced, and with basic things like, I don't know, if someone's had a key safe put in and we don't know what the number is, you can just ring them and go, what's the key safe number for so-and-so? So yeah, really practical support. It's much appreciated. I came to NEDCare fairly well qualified because I already had my level 3 in health and social care, and another level 3 in palliative care, and I had my trainer's qualification at my trainer qualification. So and since I've been in NEDCare, I've done some stuff with the Parkinson's Society, Alzheimer's Society and diabetes, so I could train people a little bit more. But I've supported some of our younger members of staff or less experienced members of staff through their care certificate. and supported them out in the community with showing people different ways of moving people, different ways of communicating with people. What else have I helped them with? Different techniques with personal care, showing them how to be more person-centred and involve the clients in their care. That's a lot of the things that I do. I travel up from Newton Abbot, which isn't as awful as it sounds. It takes me about 25 minutes in the morning, and I travel I think it's about 12 miles to work, which isn't that far in the big scheme of things, especially if you look at where I'm working. I could travel 12 miles and go and work in Torbay, which would be horrible. A typical day for me starts at around about 7 o'clock with my first client. I'll probably see about 8 people on my shift, and my morning will start with getting people up, getting them out of bed, helping them wash and dress, have their breakfast, take their medication. Quite often, the later part of the morning, I might do some enabling calls, which are fantastic because that's getting people out of their homes and out and doing things, even if it's just shopping, taking them to the doctors, getting them involved with their local community, like going to coffee mornings and things like that, meeting other people, telling people about NEDCare and what we do. We've got one lady who I took up on the High Moor the other day, and she hasn't been up there for, she hasn't been up there for 30 years because she doesn't go out very often. And she phoned the office and she said it was wonderful to feel the wind and the sun on her face, and she didn't think she'd ever do it again. So that's a really good part of my morning. And then once I've done the enabling calls, I might do some lunches, go and possibly help people with personal care. And then if it's a long shift, I'll probably do a couple of teas, again helping people with food prep, personal hygiene, and then potter off back to Newton Abbot. I think possibly the best one has been seeing a little lady we've got who's 90. Again, she hasn't been out or participated in anything in her community for a very long time, and she really wanted to go out, but she didn't know quite how to do it. So we reported all these concerns to Simon, and he said, I'll try and get some enabling hours from Devon County, and he did. So for 2 hours a week for the past 6 or 8 weeks, we've been taking this lady out, and she's gone from being really shy and quiet to thinking about planning where we're going to go on the next week. She's been to the 3 Crowns in Chagford. She's met all her old friends again. She wants to go back to her church group, which is amazing because that's getting back into the community. She's a lady that I took onto the High Moor, and she thought she'd never ever go again. And those 2 hours a week have taken a very shy, nervous lady and turned her into a more confident 91-year-old who's raring to go. And she really wants to go out and participate in the community. And I say, go back to Messy Church at Chagford. I think she's taking me next week, I'm not sure, but that's what she said she'd do. So that's just great. Absolutely fantastic. Challenges in my work can sometimes be physical challenges, as in getting to people if the weather's really bad. That can be a challenge, but we usually fix it because we've got the 4x4 transport guys that help us out. Other challenges can be getting to know your client, getting to know how they communicate, what they like and what they don't like, and realising that because you're in the community, no 2 people are the same. So I would be a different person in Mrs A's house as I would in Mrs B's house, because they're different people and they've got different likes and dislikes. So that can be a challenge sometimes, getting to know people and what they like. Other challenges are if they come out of hospital and they haven't quite got all the equipment that they need. So then obviously you talk to the office, who then liaise with the occupational therapists, and then once you get the equipment in, it's just so amazing seeing the difference that one piece of equipment can make to someone's life.